high, make me high. Can I tell you all the reasons why? It's electric, baby. I could be the one or I could be just crazy. I know you've been hurt before. I can tell it by the way you want it more. I know the game you're playing. I wanna break the rules. Stop your questioning. Call me. Nothing's gonna bring us down.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
That's really helpful, yeah. I felt that. Okay, we're gonna warm up and then we're gonna sing out during the performance.
Yes, that.
Okay, let's go back to our green room.
Yes, thank you.
We fixed. Go back to your room.
Like, I need to be isolated immediately.
Are we going down this? Opposite way up there, right? It's like a great question.
Oh my god, that was
Welcome to this year's Rackham Graduate Exercises. Our ceremony will begin shortly. The graduate procession will begin at 9:30 a.m. If you need assistance with any matter during today's event, please see an event staff member or volunteer, and they will be happy to assist you. In the event of an emergency, please pay attention to additional announcements or see an event staff member for assistance. Congratulations to all of the graduates and their families. Good morning, guests and graduates. Welcome to this year's Rackham Graduate Exercises. Please turn your attention to the stage for a performance from Gimbal a cappella.
Where do you walk on a Saturday? See her in to get somewhere. Stop, smell the roses. Stop, get close, feel it in the air. Yeah, you. Can I hold out my hand, make you listen to me, help you understand why you make me high? Can I tell you all the reasons why? It's electric, baby. I could be the one or I could be just crazy. I know you've been hurt before. I can tell it by the way you want it more. I know the game you play, and I wanna break the rules. Stop your questioning. Call me. Nothing's gonna bring us down. Nothing's gonna bring us down from me. Nothing's gonna bring us down. No, nothing's gonna bring us down. I won't let you stay lonely. Come bring your love. When will we talk on Saturday? Always hurrying to get somewhere. Striking all your poses. You think I don't notice that you're everywhere? Yeah, you. Can I hold out my hand, make you my forever? All that money I could spend looking out for you. Let me take you how you want to. Yeah. I wanna let go with you. Wait for a moment alone with you. Ooh, it's electric, baby. Come and take a chance on all the dreams you're dreaming. Come bring your love around me. Oh, no, nothing's gonna bring, no, nothing's gonna bring us down. I won't let you stay lonely. Come bring your Nobody understands. I got love, but I ain't got plans. You make me high. Can I tell you all the reasons why? Night is night, and it's coming fast. Feel like little kids in school skipping class. Can break the law. Listen to me, I'm the one that you've been waiting for. Come bring your love. I got what you want. Baby, don't go the name of my love. Get tired, get it tough. Everyone's fighting for the one they want. I got what you need. Baby, don't move and they come for me. Get tired, get it tough. Everyone's fighting for the one they want. I got what you want. Baby, don't move and they move along. Get tired, get it tough. Everyone's fighting for the one they want.
At the University of Michigan, we continue our tradition of celebrating excellence with our 2025 Spring Commencement Honorary Degrees. Originating from nominations by the community, the regents of the university confer honorary degrees upon those who embody the values and mission of the university, the transformative nature of our education, and the diversity of our community. Recipients serve the greater good of society with distinction and inspire the next generation of graduates. They truly represent the leaders and best. Distinguished physician and medical researcher Victor J. Zhao has provided tremendous leadership and innovation at the intersection of science, medicine, and policy. Born amid the Communist Revolution in Shanghai, Zhao's family fled to Hong Kong during the Chinese Civil War. His early experiences with poverty and health inequity shaped his interest in a career in medicine. After earning a Bachelor of Science and an MD from McGill University, he started his residency at Peter Bent Brigham Hospital and Harvard University. In the career that followed, through time spent as a faculty member and in leadership positions at Harvard, Stanford, and Duke, Zhao's groundbreaking work in cardiovascular medicine and genetics gained international recognition. His efforts laid the foundation for ACE inhibitors, now widely used for treating high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, and kidney disease. He pioneered gene therapy for vascular disease, and he developed the paracrine hypothesis of stem cell action and the strategy of direct cardiac reprogramming. Zhao has served as president of the National Academy of Medicine and vice chair of the National Research Council, and was the first person of color and first immigrant to lead one of the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. In these roles, he launched significant initiatives, including the Global Health Risk Framework and the Human Genome Editing Initiative. Zhao's numerous awards and accolades include the Gustav Nyland Medal from the Swedish Royal College of Medicine, the Research Achievement Award from the American Heart Association, the Ellis Island Medal of Honor from the Ellis Island Honor Society, and 21 honorary doctorates. In recognition of his contributions to healthcare, biomedical research, and efforts to bridge the global healthcare equity gap, the University of Michigan is proud to present Victor J. Zhao with the honorary degree Doctor of Science.
A man who ain't done nothing, he is dead to the world. Don't have no money, don't have his girl. She left him for none, she left him, she's gone. No, to believe he's only sleeping alone, staying home. Here's the portrait of a man with a broken heart.
The graduate procession will now begin. Please take your seats and turn your attention to the North Tunnel as the graduates take their place for the ceremony.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rackham Graduate Exercises. My name is Heather O'Malley. I'm an Assistant Research Scientist in the Michigan Medicine Department of Pharmacology and the Vice Chair of the Senate Advisory Committee on University Affairs. On behalf of the entire faculty, I congratulate all of you graduating today. At this time, we ask that you all rise, if you are able, for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning. I'm Lori McCauley, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 Rackham Graduate Exercises at the University of Michigan. Let us thank Danielle Casos, accompanied by Emilia Arguelles, for that moving rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. As we begin, I want to recognize an important part of our history, a land transfer from the indigenous people of this area. The University of Michigan is located on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people. In 1817, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations made the largest single land transfer to the University of Michigan. This was offered ceremonially through the treaty at the foot of the rapids so that their children could be educated. Through these words of acknowledgement, their contemporary and ancestral ties to the land and their contributions to the university are renewed and reaffirmed. Graduates, I am so pleased to welcome you to the Rackham Graduate Exercises. Today, we gather among peers, mentors, teachers, friends, and family to celebrate not only what you have learned, but what you have become. Friends and family, you have had front row seats to this metamorphosis. We are all so grateful for your support and your presence here today. Graduates, you will leave this building with a new set of credentials representing hard work. When you're at your celebratory dinner and your friends and family note that you have an advanced degree from the University of Michigan, you should reflect on two things. First, that never gets old. Second, you came here as a seeker drawn to the mysteries of your discipline. And in your time seeking an advanced degree, you've experienced 2, 3, maybe even 4 presidential administrations. You began or continued your studies of classical texts or biochemistry through the social isolation of a pandemic. Some of you watched, perhaps with horror or perhaps with pride, as you encountered your first gray hairs. In other words, earning an advanced degree is not just an academic pursuit. It is living in such a way that your discipline and your life become intertwined. It's not for the faint of heart. And when you're done, you have not just overcome obstacles, you have conquered yourself. Graduates, each of you will soon have one of the world's most sought-after pieces of wall decor for your offices, a graduate degree from the University of Michigan. But long after that document has faded in the sunlight and the letters have become faint, the habits of mind and strength of character you forged here will remain inextinguishable and forever within you. Congratulations, graduates. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first student speaker, Sauda Nabukanya. Sauda is receiving a PhD in history today as a Mellon ACLS Fellow and a Fulbright Scholar. She previously earned a master's degree from Makerere University in Uganda, where her thesis focused on the politics of the country's constitution-making process. Sauda is committed through her research to preserving the histories of ordinary people in African legal history. Please join me in welcoming Sauda to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. I stand before you today not just as a graduate, but as a testament of the power of perseverance and education. I came to the United States 9 years ago from Uganda on a Fulbright scholarship with my 2 young children. Abdu then was just 13 years old, and Mariam was 9 years old. I was just a single mother stepping into a new world, carrying not just my own dreams, but the dreams of my children. Pursuing a PhD while raising 2 children was challenging. There were moments of exhaustion and doubt, but I kept going. For myself, my children, and for my mother, a woman who has been my greatest inspiration. Coming from a society where educating girls was not prioritized, I knew it was my only escape. With the support of my parents, I became the first in my family to earn a degree, and today a PhD. The joy I feel today is immense. It is a joy of inspiring young people in my community and of knowing that my story has changed perceptions among those who once overlooked the value of educating their daughters. This is the story I proudly share. Michigan has been more than a university to me. It has been a support community. My professors encouraged me when I felt overwhelmed. My fellow students reminded me that I wasn't alone. The scholarships, emergency funds, and all the generous support I received enabled me to pursue my education and support my children. Today, both my children are here at Michigan. Abdu is in the second year program of his PhD in anthropology, and Mariam is also pursuing her bachelor's degree. Together, thank you. Together we have built a future we only once dreamed of. I vividly remember the day my son Abdu told me he has been accepted into Michigan's PhD program. The happiness I felt that day was so overwhelming. I literally fell down on the ground in tears. It was one of those moments where you laugh, you cry, and wonder if you're dreaming all at the same time. That moment reminded me why we keep going. To my fellow graduates, each of you has walked a different path to get here. Some of you have worked late nights, balancing jobs, and also school. Some of you have faced struggles that were invisible to the world, but you have made it. And as you move forward, I ask of you to open doors for others. Your success is not just your own. It shines a light for someone else to follow. And if you ever doubted yourself, I want you to remember this, that the hardest journeys are oftentimes are the ones that lead to extraordinary destinations. Here I am Dr. Naukenya, and I'm now an assistant professor at Utah State University. So I want to congratulate all of you, class of 2025. Your future begins today. Go Blue. And now I'm pleased to introduce Michael Solomon, Dean of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies and Vice Provost for Academic Affairs Graduate Studies, and the 15th President of the University of Michigan, Santa J. Ono.
Good morning, and thank you, Sada, for those inspiring remarks and for your introduction. Mr. President, I now have the honor, on behalf of the faculties of the university and the executive board of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies, to present candidates for doctoral degrees. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees of the Horace Rackham School of Graduate Studies please rise if you are able and remain standing as I name your degrees: Doctor of Musical Arts and Doctor of Philosophy. Mr. President, I have the honor on the behalf of the Executive Board of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies to present these candidates to you and recommend them for the degrees named.
By the authority of the state of Michigan, vested in the regents of this university, and by them delegated to me, we shall now confer the doctoral degrees which have been recommended by the faculties. I confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been nominated, admitting you to its rights, honors, and privileges, and charging you with its responsibilities. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Let's hear it for them one more time. Please be seated.
Next, we recommend the candidates for the various master's and certificate degrees, and to recommend them for the degrees named. I will call the degrees one by one. Will the candidates for the degrees please rise if you are able and remain standing as your degree is named? First, Master of Arts. Master of Arts in Arts Administration. Master of Arts in Liberal Studies and Master of Design. Master of Fine Arts, please stand as your degree is named. Excellent. Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Public Administration, Master of Public Affairs, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science, Master of Science and Engineering, Master of Urban and Regional Planning, all other master's degrees and certificate of graduate studies. Mr. President, I now have the honor on behalf of the Executive Board of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies to present these candidates to you and to recommend them for the degrees named.
By the authority of the state of Michigan, vested in the regents of this university and by them to me, we shall now confer the master's degrees which have been recommended by the faculties. I confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been nominated, admitting you to this community of scholars, to its rights and honors and privileges, and charging you with its responsibilities. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Let's hear it for the master's degrees. Please be seated. We'll see you on stage in a bit. It is such an honor to be with all of you today. Let's hear it for Dean Solomon, your dean. And the chief academic officer of this great university, Provost Lori McCauley. And someone that we are very honored to have with us, Dr. Zhao. Our distinguished faculty and our dedicated staff, and most of all, our honored graduates and your families. Let's hear it for your families who've been with you every step of the way. Let's hear it for the faculty that were with you every step of the way. For the PhD recipients, you'll have a special moment on stage as they hood you. And they have, we know, have been central to guiding you in your research and scholarship. We're so pleased to join with you in this moment of celebration, this high point of achievement, this opening of new potentials and possibilities. As with so many summits, this moment has been years in the making, climbing a tall hill with fits and starts, challenges. It's been a prolonged effort with, as I said, many challenges and difficulties and uncertainties along the way. And each step you have persevered, you have adapted, you have overcome. Even coming into your respective graduate program was a choice to take an upward path, a choice to go above and beyond where you thought you might go. Today, your choice has been crowned with laurels, yet your laurels are not yours alone. From the very first days when you learned to walk, everything you have accomplished is shared with members of your family, your grandparents, who may or may not be with you today, but you remember them, your parents, your advisors, your informal mentors in the department, your colleagues and friends. On this journey, they have guided you, supported you, challenged you, argued with you, sustained you, and lifted you. So let's give your community, your ecosystem of support, a round of applause. Soon-to-be graduates, this morning you walked into this arena as students, and you will walk out as alumni, graduates of the University of Michigan. You will have earned your graduate degree at one of the world's most influential and exceptional universities. Every single year, the journal Nature ranks institutions by impact, by discipline. And you are graduating from an institution across the spectrum of programs that is among the top 5 global universities in terms of the impact of your scholarship. Each of you has chosen a specialty within this great institution. Each of you has taken your own path to the success and achievement that is today. And each of you has the incredible, ineffable talent to shape the world in a different way, in a way that is uniquely yours. And we need you now more than ever before. Yet you are also united in a purpose and ethos, in character and in mission. It's important to take from you the lessons from your professors. And as you become professors, to bring with you to your students what you have learned about a love of learning, about the magic of success and failure, about a duty, not only to your field, but to the students that you will educate and inspire from this day forward. Many of you are going on to prestigious institutions for postdoctoral fellowships, for research associates. Some of you are starting on the tenure track immediately. And some of you are actually going into different occupations, not in academia, but increasingly wherever you find yourself, you will have an impact. You'll have an impact not only in creating knowledge, but you'll have an impact in inspiring others. And as you probably know, the University of Michigan is one of the most prominent graduate institutions supported by the Rackham School, and we are known as a teacher of teachers, the most noble of professions. Don't let anyone say otherwise. You are. Let's hear it for our teachers. You are forever joined in maize and blue, in our storied and sacred traditions. Most of all, as from the first day you walked onto this campus, whether it was Central Campus or North Campus, or somewhere else where your research might take you, together we will share a lifelong connection, a commitment to service, to leadership, to excellence and achievement, a commitment to a dream that's embodied in every aspect of this great university, to provide an uncommon education to the common person. We should be proud to be a great research university in a public university. Education shouldn't be for the privileged. Education should be for everyone. And that's why, through our excellence, our breadth, our commitment to the community in Michigan and beyond, the University of Michigan will always be special. Thanks for walking with humility, to igniting wonder and creativity in your departments, in your laboratories, with your peers. Thank you for opening new horizons, new vistas, to lifting and shaping our society. You will make us proud from this day forward. We can tell from seeing how many of those who went before you have become leaders in their fields, in every institution of higher learning around the world. That's the tradition you join. Now, on graduation and commencement, we try to bring an individual that will inspire you. And your commencement speaker today is at the very pinnacle of biomedical science. His name is Victor Zhao. He exemplifies the best of our traditions as a university and our aspirations of ourselves and also of you. He is at the very pinnacle of both basic and clinical and translational research. He is the president of the United States National Academy of Medicine and vice chair of the U.S. National Research Council, as well as Chancellor Emeritus and distinguished James B. Duke professor at none other than Duke University. By the way, Victor, do you know that the Wolverines are going to play the Duke Blue Devils, right? This year. Sorry to say, we're going to win. He is also an acclaimed leader and researcher, and one of the most influential physician scientists nationally and internationally. Whether you go to Europe or Asia or Stanford or Montreal, everyone knows Victor Zhao. They know him for his science. I remember when he was using gene transfer to get genes that might correct a mutation into cells of the heart. He works in the field of cardiovascular science and medicine, and he's a towering figure, having worked at Stanford and in the Harvard Longwood Medical area before going to Duke. While I have the honor to have attended some of the same institutions, I have a long way to go to become a Victor Zhao. He preceded me at McGill University, and I already knew about him then. And when I was a postdoctoral fellow at Harvard University in the laboratory of Jack Strominger in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, I was watching what he was publishing. I think he was using a gun and pellets or something like that, mini pellets to get genes into cells, right? Something like that, gene therapy. I've truly come to know him over the past 15 years. We were just joking that the first time I met him on stage was about 15 years ago when I was president of the University of Cincinnati. And as I noted in my inaugural speech 2.5 years ago, at each step, Victor, I have looked up to you. And let's face it, I've spent my entire career trying to be some approximation of who you are. You have set an example, not just for me, but for thousands of scientists and clinicians. But you have also led in the academy in thinking about important things, like what we owe in terms of accountability to the patients we serve, in terms of bioethics. If you go to the National Academy of Medicine website, you will see that it's not focused on gene therapy or heart disease. It spans the breadth of all diseases that Americans suffer from. It thinks about how we organize an ecosystem of discovery all the way to the operating room and the bedside to care for Americans in a better way. Dr. Zhao, you have led through research, scholarship, through discovery of the highest level, through inspiration, and through an unwavering commitment to excellence in everything that you do. And you are still setting an example today through your service and spirit, your achievement and your vision, even at a moment where things are challenging. Graduates, this is what reaching the summit of achievement means. Listen to what he has done. Be inspired. It is so much more than a celebration. Though a celebration is worthy of today, it is a new opportunity, a new chapter to grow and to earn and to achieve, as well as an obligation because of all that you have to give back to others, to shape the future of our society in fundamental ways. Everyone on this stage, everyone around you is confident that you will do exactly that. For today, you are graduates of the University of Michigan, and forever you are Wolverines. Congratulations again, and go blue. Now, would you please join me in welcoming our friend, this year's commencement speaker, the President of the National Academy of Medicine, a renowned scientist and clinician. With a rounding applause, let's hear it for Dr. Victor Zhao.
Wow, President Ono, full of hyperbole. I only have two things to worry about. One is, I wish my mother was here to hear this. And secondly, I better live up to his expectations. Having said that, I would say that President Ono is inspirational force for me as an academic, inspirational force for universities, students, for Asian Americans like me, and of course, he's a great role model. So thank you so much. So President Ono and Provost Macaulay, Dean Solomon, esteemed faculty, guests in the class of 2025. What a great honor for me to stand before you today at the Rackham Graduate Exercise to deliver this speech. First, class of 2025, congratulations on reaching this remarkable milestone. Your dedication and perseverance have led you to this moment, and you deserve one more resounding round of applause. Like President Ono, I also like to recognize the people who helped get you here with unwavering support and love, your parents, partners, families, and loved ones. So up there, may I ask all of you to stand and give us a thank with a round of applause, please. Thank you. Well, today we celebrate the extraordinary range of disciplines represented in this graduation class. Albert Einstein once said, "All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree, directed to enabling men's life and leading the individual towards freedom," end of quote. Well, each one of you is a branch of that tree, from aerospace engineering to classical studies, jazz, to biology, and so much more. You pursue your degree with a shared commitment to make a meaningful impact. Your research and scholarship carry timeless value. They shape the future and will serve society in so many profound ways. And yet, even as your work holds enduring significance, the world you're stepping into is anything but static. There's one thing we can count on, it's change. Persistent, rapid, challenging, exciting, but often unpredictable. The fast-moving world we live in has touched every aspect of your graduate experience, both personally and professionally. Just think, when many of you applied to graduate school, no one heard of ChatGPT, right? And now generative AI is shaping education, research, and beyond. In fact, even helped me write my speech. And these forces aren't just headlines. They are real. They influence your questions, challenge your assumptions, and perhaps even redirect your goals. And during the time of your graduate studies, you've also experienced existential threats, such as COVID-19 and climate change. As President Ono said, amid all those changes, you showed up, you adapted, you led. In fact, many of you began your graduate journeys in a time of extraordinary upheaval, navigating a global pandemic and confronting a world grappling with questions of justice, identity, and belonging. Still, you pushed forward. You just didn't endure, you evolved. You found new ways to connect, to learn, to build community. And that resilience will serve you well for the rest of your lives. And for the 30% of this graduating class who are international students, like Sauda, your journey has not only been one of academic pursuit, but cultural adaptation and transformation. And I know many of you are now dealing with the uncertainties of the current administration on international student visas. But you will prevail. You have prevailed. You bridged languages, culture, communities, overcame uncertainties and expectations to pursue your dreams. Your stories are powerful reminders. Thank you. Thank you. Your stories are powerful reminders of what courage and commitment look like. And as an immigrant myself, I know how challenging it is, and also how rewarding it can be, the path can be. With all those change will come both triumphs and challenges, experience that will shape you in ways you can't yet imagine. For me, change has been a constant. As a boy, my family and I fled communist China under difficult circumstances. Those days were really hard. I witnessed poverty, malnutrition, and illnesses, which motivated me to pursue a career in medicine. Because no matter how hard and bad things can be, my eyes, your eyes should also open to what's possible. I've seen in firsthand how improving people's living conditions can transform lives. These early experiences, like your experience, shape my path, and your path as well. The Chinese word for crisis is composed of two characters, one meaning danger, the other one opportunity. Indeed, the most intimidating changes in our lives often hold the greatest potential for growth. So throughout my career, from trainee to faculty, from physician to scientist to administrator, and into increasing complex leadership roles, each transition brought difficulty, but also development. Those moments made me more resilient, more innovative, more empathetic. Now, graduates, you stand in a moment of change as you prepare to enter the next phase of your journey. And as you look ahead, change will only accelerate. The technology you use, the problems you address, and even the fields you work in may look entirely different 5, 10 years from now. But I hope you can see both the challenges and the joy in the unknown. There's immense potential for all of you to lead change and to shape the future, not just your own future, future of your community, our nation, and even the world. So people frequently say, how do you navigate a world defined by change, not just to survive, but to thrive? Well, you do it by anchoring yourself to something that doesn't change, your values, your purpose, your North Star. The novelist Paulo Coelho called it a personal legend, a sense of purpose uniquely yours to pursue. Purpose can be quiet or bold, personal or global, but what matters is that it feels true to you. Some find purpose through the love of discovery, a desire to create. Others are inspired by a drive to serve, by commitment to advancing justice. And still others find purpose in building communities. And remember, purpose doesn't always arrive all at once, something you uncover as you live, grow, and explore. It's a journey of discovery about the world, but also about yourselves. So be open to new paths. Sometimes what starts as a detour becomes your destination. For me, my North Star has always been a deep commitment to service, a desire to make a meaningful difference in people's life. So that early in my career led me to the research lab. I was driven to do research that could uncover new treatments for heart disease. I was fortunate to contribute to the development of a class of drugs known as ACE inhibitors that have gone on to save millions of lives with heart disease. But over time, my purpose expanded to global and population health. I saw the benefits of science and medicine still weren't reaching many of the world's most vulnerable populations. I felt called to use my energy, my experience to champion global health equity and help ensure that poor and underprivileged get a fair shot at healthy life. That has been my why. It's grounded me, challenged me, sustained me through moments of uncertainty and change. Has been the compass guiding every step of my journey. Some of you may be familiar with Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. He famously said, "Those who have a why to live for can bear with almost any how." As you navigate change of your own, I hope you take the time to discover, to hold on to your sense of purpose, your why. Let it be your North Star to guide you through whatever lies ahead. So class of 2025 is stepping into a world that needs your brilliance, your compassion, your leadership. You've been trained at the greatest university on earth, University of Michigan, to think deeply, to question boldly, and to push the boundaries of knowledge. But just as importantly, you learn to adapt, to persevere, and to lead. So as you leave this campus, step into your next chapter, remember, change is inevitable. But your values and your purpose, your North Star, those are yours to define and carry forward. Let them be your foundation as you imagine bold possibilities. Shape your future with intention and help build a world for us all. Congratulations once again, and thank you for letting me share this special moment with you. You are inspiration. You are a force. I just can't wait to see the great impact you made to the world. Thank you very much, and go Blue.
Thank you, Dr. Zhao, for those inspiring remarks and for your dedicated service and leadership for our country. Next, I would like to introduce the University of Michigan Commencement Brass Ensemble, who you will see on the screen. The ensemble is composed of 14 undergraduates and graduates from the School of Music, Theater, and Dance, and conducted by Rachel Zafir, a second-year doctoral candidate in musical arts in conducting. The ensemble will perform the piece Interlude, composed by Elam Ray Sprenkle. Please enjoy. What a stellar performance from our Commencement Brass Ensemble. Let's give them another hand. It is my pleasure to introduce our next student speaker, Antara Das Green. Today, Antara is receiving 2 Master of Science degrees in Environmental Sustainability and Mechanical Engineering. Previously, she earned a Bachelor of Science in Electronic Engineering Technology from Pittsburgh State University. Her research at Michigan has focused on how electric vehicles hold their value, and she aims to help lead the charge toward clean energy and sustainable living. Please join me in welcoming Antara to the podium.
Thank you, Provost McCauley. Good morning. It's my honor today to deliver graduate remarks at this ceremony. Today, as we stand on the edge of a new beginning, I find myself reflecting on the path that brought us here. For many of us, the University of Michigan was uncharted territory, a land filled with unknowns. I remember the first time I walked through the Diag, feeling completely lost. But in those early days, something remarkable happened. Strangers became friends, challenges became lessons, and soon this campus became home. One of my favorite Michigan memories involved a spontaneous snow fight on the Diag. But what started as a playful battle turned into something far more meaningful. I met people who would become some of my closest friends that evening. And I realized, under the glow of street lights and with the sound of laughter echoing through the cold, the Michigan isn't just a university. It is a place where lifelong connections are made in the most unexpected ways. We have all faced obstacles, whether it was navigating a difficult class or wondering if we would ever make it through another Michigan winter. But we kept going. We pushed ourselves farther than we ever thought possible. And what made this journey unforgettable were the people beside us, the friends, colleagues, professors who pulled us through when we doubted ourselves, who sat with us during hard days, who celebrated with us on the good ones. While I've had incredible support here at Michigan, I would like to take a moment to thank the people who've been my constant, my family. My father, Dr. Bijay Das, for being my anchor and biggest cheerleader through every high and low. My ma, Lucky Das. I learned to dream fearlessly and love endlessly because of her. My brother Bibhash, for reminding me to never lose my spark. And James Green, my husband, for your unwavering belief in me and for being my constant source of light. This milestone is as much yours as it is mine. As I look back on this journey, I realize that Michigan has given us all so much more than a degree. It has given us resilience, the ability to fail, to fall, to struggle, and yet still find a way forward. It has shown us the power of education, the power of people standing together. At Michigan, we have discovered that impact isn't just about what we do, it's about who we become along the way. So today, as we prepare to step into the next chapter of our lives, let's remember this. The world isn't waiting for us to fit in. It's waiting for us to stand out, to take what we have learned here and use it to create something that matters. Congratulations, graduates, and go Blue. And now, I'm pleased to welcome back to the podium Michael Solomon, Dean of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies and Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, Graduate Studies.
Thank you so much, Antara, for your remarks. It is now my pleasure, on behalf of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies, to offer brief remarks. In academia, we all wear many hats. Though looking out at all of yours, I realize the irony today that I'm not actually wearing one. But I do think the expression is apt for those of us at a university, and especially for you here today who are celebrating your own graduation. You are researchers, you are scholars, you are artists. Many of you have been teachers, and I'm sure all of you have offered fellowship, counsel, or comfort to your peers and others during your time at Michigan. You are caregivers, partners, and siblings, and friends. You've upheld your responsibilities in your studies and scholarship and fulfilled countless obligations in so many other aspects of your lives to be where you are today, on this occasion, to be publicly recognized for all that you have achieved, and to share this moment for those who have supported you along the way. Today I'd like to speak for a moment not as dean, but as a faculty member who has mentored several students who have reached this great day, and whom I have taken a great sense of pride. The commitments and rewards of these relationships are each unique, but I'd like to offer one story that I think captures something important. This is the story about a work of a graduate student from about 10 years ago. My students and I build equipment in the lab for experiments. Typically, and a few of you may have personal experience with this, when you build something in the lab, it doesn't work. It doesn't work the first time, and it doesn't work the second time either. This student, pursuing her thesis, was using a microscope to position particles 1/100th the size of a human hair in patterns. At a certain point, and actually a few times after that second try, the student came into a meeting and indicated the experiment was now not only working, but she knew exactly why it was working. And I have to admit, and this is forever not to my credit, did not 100% believe the student. I said, well, if that's true, you could make a microscopic block M the width of a human hair. And so then the next afternoon, she walked into my office and she showed me a video that she had made of that very microscopic block M. Next, she put that movie on the internet. And Ohio State did not like that. As of last week, that video has 129,000 views, which is about 128,000 more than my next most watched YouTube video. I think all the faculty mentors here today would have a similar story about the brilliance and ingenuity of graduate students. I imagine many of you students have had similar moments of success and perhaps even proved your professor wrong along the way. Whatever your discipline or approach, I hope you take pride in yourselves for such moment to the same degree that you have impressed us all as your faculty. Now, graduate school is always a complex and demanding endeavor, but I believe it to be even more so in this increasingly precarious, divided, and unsettled world. That precarity risks compromising the spirit of inquiry and innovation that is at the heart of a Rackham education. On occasions such as this, you've given me pause or filled me with doubt. The time I have spent pursuing research with students has lifted me up. The theses I have read and the challenging projects we have worked on together as scholars are inspiration. Knowledge, discovery, and understanding. These are the goals that students and faculty pursue together. And now you are well equipped to carry that pursuit forward under your own power as you leave here to face new challenges in the world that awaits you. Indeed, by pursuing a path of an advanced degree at the University of Michigan, you have shown that you are undaunted by a difficult path. With the skills and insights you have attained, you are exceptionally prepared to make a difference and to lead change. You can take confidence in your hard-earned expertise, your creativity, and the fluency and perspective that you bring to addressing even the most disconcerting problems. I am impressed by the agency and enthusiasm that students bring to situations where I myself would have been deterred, like my student and her video. Your potential contributions are as varied and unique as the steps you've taken to prepare for them. But as you look back now on all you've overcome to attain your degree today, I hope you will look forward with an appreciation of your capacity and your value to a world in need. For that, I offer you my thanks, my admiration, and my congratulations. I have no doubt that you will accomplish something unbelievable. Hats off to all of you. It is now the part of the program where it is our great pleasure to recognize the achievements of our graduates. We will recognize those earning doctoral degrees first and invite those students to come forward and be personally hooded and recognized. The doctoral degrees that these students have received are the highest awarded by the university. We come now to the hooding of the doctoral degree recipients, recognizing each of them individually. The ritual of receiving this doctoral hood is part of a historical tradition that began in the earliest foundations of European universities. Hooding has been a central feature of commencement exercises like this since the 12th century. When popes, kings, or emperors authorized the conferral of the doctoral hood, they were certifying that the recipients were master teachers who had earned us ubique docenti, which means the right to teach anywhere. Each doctoral graduate has undertaken original scholarship in the completion of a dissertation, guided by faculty members who chaired the student's dissertation committee. Many of these dissertation chairs are with us today and will personally hood their students, welcoming them into the community of scholars. Their names will be called as they are draped with the hood, which completes their doctoral academic regalia. The colors on the hoods identify first the university attended and second, the academic field of study. The University of Michigan's colors, maize and azure blue, can be seen on the lining of the hoods the doctoral candidates wear today. The color of the hood indicates their field of study, and these colors can be identified in the list of the academic colors in the program. I invite you now to notice the various disciplines represented as the degree recipients are introduced. You will receive a remarkable insight into the diversity and breadth of the intellectual and creative mission carried forth at the University of Michigan.
The card. Sajah Abdul Qayyum, Aerospace Engineering. Eitan Adler, Aerospace Engineering. Devansh Ugrawal, Aerospace Engineering. Omar Ahmed, Mechanical Engineering. Ashur Ali, Robotics. Amani Abdul Qadir Al-Kayali, Computer Science and Engineering. Abdullah Akulbati, Chemical Engineering. Olamide Unimat Sahun, Chemical Engineering. Christopher Azargide, Chemical Biology. Yonju Bey, Anthropology. Deepthi Batala, Architecture. Bernardo Bahia Monteiro, Aerospace Engineering. Elizabeth Beeler, Biomedical Engineering. Armand Beruzzi, Computer Science and Engineering. Andrea Bejarano, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Matthew Richardson Bells, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Catherine Beringer, Social Work and Anthropology. Rory Bowens, Astronomy and Astrophysics. Allison Box, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Zachary Bray, Mechanical Engineering. Aranyo Bhattacharya, Climate and Space Sciences and Engineering. Sarai Blanco Martinez, Education and Psychology. Margarita Brovkina, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Alexander Bunnell, Chemistry. Aaron Burrell, Mechanical Engineering. Jianxing Tsai, Chemical Engineering. Janae Nicole Best, Health Behavior and Health Equity. Daniel Carpenter, Climate and Space Sciences and Engineering. Santiago Castro, Computer Science and Engineering. Cassandra Champagne, Civil Engineering. Saj Chattopadhyay, Applied Physics. Bahar Khavla, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Brandon Chen, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Xinting Chen, Chemical Engineering. Jiadong Chen, Material Science and Engineering. Sophia Chen, Screen Arts and Cultures. Loretta Cheng, Linguistics. Desna Chigumba, Chemical Biology. Yunha Cho, Business Administration and Sociology. Subin Choi, Communication. Ian Cronis, Pharmacology. Yuk Chung, Business Administration. Shannon M. Clancy, Mechanical Engineering. Alexander David Clayton, History. Alexander Coppins, Aerospace Engineering. Joseph Costello, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Andrew Crocker, Classical Art and Archaeology. Luis Cubillos, Robotics. Soda Nabukenya, History. Travis Dancer, Civil Engineering. Elizabeth Davenport, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. Faith Davis, microbiology and immunology. Cristina Del Greco, genetics and genomics. Arlen Dean, industrial and operations engineering. Kai Wen Dong, bioinformatics. Mino Deswal, history. Shinella D'Souza, mathematics. Nathan Dvorak, electrical and computer engineering. Megan Dykstra, neuroscience. Amelia Eichengreen, classical art and archaeology. Ali Fargadon, mechanical engineering. Ali Farhat, bioinformatics. Leanne Flowers, molecular and integrative physiology. Braden Frigoletto, aerospace engineering. Londrea Garrett, nuclear engineering and radiological sciences. Andrea Garetto, microbiology and immunology. Benjamin Gogren, conducting, choral. Hessa Altani, industrial and operations engineering. Lina Omar Grayeb, industrial and operations engineering. Miriam Gleckman-Krut, sociology. Eli Goldweber, computer science and engineering. Francisco Gomez Rivera, immunology. Henry Gong, immunology. Carolyn Donna Kirkwood Graham, ecology and evolutionary biology. Yanis Granitsas, electrical and computer engineering. Francis Gu, chemistry. Keanu Alexander Guardiola Flores, biophysics. Valentina Guevara, chemical engineering. Yaohui Kuo, industrial and operations engineering. Dinank Gupta, biomedical engineering. Hannah Hadjic, aerospace engineering. Sean Hallett, Oral Health Sciences. Jacqueline Hannon, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Jeffrey Paul Hatch, Chemistry. Joshua Philip Hazelness, Chemistry. Christina Hendren, Biomedical Engineering. Martha Hensey, English Language and Literature. Richard Higgins, Computer Science and Engineering. Sarah Emily Hosevar, Neuroscience. Joseph Paul Hollowood, Physics. Hannah Hoover, Anthropology. Eric Horst, Biomedical Engineering. Cecilia Howard, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Hillary Hoyt, Business Administration. Jean Rafael Estrada, Anthropology. Jared Mitchell, Material Science and Engineering. Ryan James Hubbard, Applied Physics. Yunbit Wang, Business Administration. Yasha Stephen Iravanchi, Computer Science and Engineering. Elizabeth Ryan Jackal, Pharmacology. Jamalina Binti Jamaluddin, Nuclear Engineering and Radiological Sciences. Sunho Zhang, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Yun Sok Jang, Computer Science and Engineering. Eshna Josh, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology. Chuljun Zhong, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Minjun Jin, Biophysics. Tsetao Jin, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering. Hojong Zhou, Political Science. Juno Chung, Mechanical Engineering. Shannon Hill, Climate and Space Sciences and Engineering. Shugo Kaneko, Aerospace Engineering. Rahasuda Kanan, Biomedical Engineering. Tulipi Kuturia, robotics. Lance Kowalski, mechanical engineering. Catherine Kasmer, environmental engineering. Grace Christian Kerber, physics. Abdul Saeed Khan, naval architecture and marine engineering. Do-Hoon Kim, chemical engineering. John Won-Oh Kim, mechanical engineering. John Kim, material science and engineering. Jo-Hyun Kim, electrical and computer engineering. Allison King, mechanical engineering. Jessica King, biomedical engineering. Jeffrey Knupp, cellular and molecular biology. Daehyun Go, environmental engineering. Amanda Kubik, comparative literature. Nilesh Satish Kulkarni, computer science and engineering. Nicholas Graves Kyriakou, physics. Shannon Marie Lacey, cellular and molecular biology. Brian Wan Lai, aerospace engineering. Lindsay Lamlin, molecular and integrative physiology. Hannah Larson, mechanical engineering. Kelly Larson, biomedical engineering. Hanja Le, mathematics. Andrew Lee, computer science and engineering. Chun Yong Lee, music performance. Joseph Lettner, biomedical engineering. Jordan Michael Lung, aerospace engineering. Zhao Li, information. Jinyong Li, computer science and engineering. Mingjin Li, electrical and computer engineering. Li Shiting, bioinformatics. Gaiyu Liang, industrial and operations engineering. Derek Alexander Leaf, business administration and political science. Jack Lin, neuroscience. Yin Lin, computer science and engineering. Shauna Littleton, clinical pharmacy translational sciences. Elizabeth Renee Livingston, mechanical engineering. Jun Hao Ma, industrial and operations engineering. Tai Gao Ma, physics. Jordan Helena Macklin, cellular and molecular biology. Sikandar Maitra Kumar, history. Kyle Marlantes, naval architecture and marine engineering. Leslie Martin, educational studies. I have my water. Julia Martins, comparative literature. Arati Mathur, chemical engineering. Akshay Mathur, robotics. Joseph Mayer, mechanical engineering. Mitra Padilla Maz, immunology. Samantha Meister, industrial and operations engineering. Johnny Mendoza, chemistry. Ziyi Meng, molecular and integrative physiology. Waidehi Menon, material science and engineering. Hossein Mogimi Naval, mechanical engineering. Alex Moskowitz, classical art and archaeology. Dana Caitlin Moss, English language and literature. Daniel Mucchio, climate and space sciences and engineering. Camille Mum, genetics and genomics. Bahare Naimipur, engineering education research. Kate Napier, astronomy and astrophysics. Jing Su Neo, earth and environmental sciences. Alexandra Norwood, anthropology. Hannah Oberle, neuroscience. San Hoon Oh, mechanical engineering. Ronke Olavare, Social Work and Anthropology. Jayla Osborne, Psychology. Fiki Owoso, Chemical Engineering. Leke Oyefersa, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Yunje Pan, Computer Science and Engineering. Srava Panala, Mechanical Engineering. Somin Park, Civil Engineering. Young Mo Park, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Hardik Parvana, Robotics. Shayla Peoples, Genetics and Genomics. Jing Peng, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Shangyu Peng, Robotics. Daniel Penley, Mechanical Engineering. Alma Rosa Perez, Chemistry. Cesar Perez, Applied Physics. Melissa Perez, Information and Educational Studies. Michini Futi, Mechanical Engineering. Logan Peebles, Chemical Engineering. Winston Pitts, Chemistry. Madison Clayton, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Austin Polanco, Applied Physics. Noah Pulio, Molecular and Cellular Pathology. Shenji Chen, Computer Science and Engineering. Yiming Cho, Computer Science and Engineering. Leila Rod, Biomedical Engineering. Yuldis Rakibova, Biological Chemistry. Catherine Redmond, Cancer Biology. James Michael Reeves, Economics. Anjana Deep Renji, Health Infrastructures and Learning Systems. Olivia Kathleen Richards, Information. Reuben Riggs Bookman, Anthropology and History. Monica Rionda, Biomedical Engineering. Parker John Roberts, Aerospace Engineering. Kwame Porter Robinson, Information. Antonella Rodriguez, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Benush Rostemi, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Lloyd Philip Ruiz, Molecular and Integrative Physiology. Charles William Ryan, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Sangeeta Saha, History and Women's and Gender Studies. Catherine Alexandria Schenk, Greek and Roman History. Ian Schrock, Biomedical Engineering. Andrew Simon, Aerospace Engineering. Elena Segura, Business Administration. Emily Jean Sheets, Computer Science and Engineering. Jihao Shi, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Na Chen Shi, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Erica Seismetz, Oral Health Sciences. Muyu Situ, Neuroscience. Zachary Brian Sluzala, Neuroscience. Evelyn Smith, Business and Economics. Kevin Smith, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Laura Snyder, Chemistry. Sunhong Song, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Caitlin Speckhart, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Livia T. Stanger, Pharmacology. Alexander Maxwell Stevens, History. Christopher Lewis Stith, Mathematics. Olivia Strahan, Mathematics. Joyu Sun, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Derek Sund, Applied and Interdisciplinary Mathematics. Ramakrishnan Sundara Raman, Computer Science and Engineering. Yongjin Sung, Business Administration. Eric Donald Shemansky, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Shungpo Tang, Computer Science and Engineering. Franco Tabella, Biophysics. Seth Teague, Biomedical Engineering. Mohit Kumar Tekrival, Aerospace Engineering. Sangli Tung, Robotics. Hiroshi Toma, Economics. Tyler Toner, Mechanical Engineering. Tyler Topham, Nuclear Engineering and Radiological Sciences. Megan Trombley, Material Science and Engineering. Michelangelo Trujillo, Social Work and Sociology. Christopher Turner, Psychology. Max Venata, Environment and Sustainability. Desiree Varnado, Psychology. Katya Dimitrova Vasilev, Mathematics. Shashank Vurma, Aerospace Engineering. Courtney Vidacek, Mechanical Engineering. Rosendo Villafuerte Vega, Chemistry. Trenton Fogel, Chemistry. Chenlan Wang, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Tongxin Yin, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Ding Wu Wang, Computer Science and Engineering. Karen Wang, Cell and Developmental Biology. Hao Wang, Nuclear Engineering and Radiological Sciences. Shupeng Wei, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Sydney Misako Welk, English Language and Literature. Shuochun Wen, Material Science and Engineering. Carrie Marlene White, American Culture. Pamela Wildstein, Environment and Sustainability and Urban and Regional Planning. Jeffrey Williams, Cell and Developmental Biology. Maxwell Woody, Environment and Sustainability and Mechanical Engineering. Keenan Rashad Wright, Chemistry. Hao Chen Wu, Mechanical Engineering. Shuofeng Wu, Information. Zhucong Ji, Material Science and Engineering. Hao Wei Shang, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Xiao Yixin, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Yan Xia, Climate and Space Sciences and Engineering. Enzi Xing, Immunology. Zhonjie Xing, Computer Science and Engineering. Jin Shu, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Mariama Salifu, Biomedical Engineering. Yang Shu, Pharmacology. Mingyu Yang, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Qixen Yang, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Christine Yi, Chemical Engineering. Qishong Yin, Material Science and Engineering. Dehan Yu, Information. Henri Yu, Civil Engineering. Jun Young Yu, Mechanical Engineering. Teresa Yu, Mathematics. Man Yuan, Physics. Bohao Zhang, Robotics. Lei Zhang, Information. Nuda Zhang, Computer Science and Engineering. Yiqi Zhang, Computer Science and Engineering. Yiqi Zhang, Information. Yuan Zhang, Computer Science and Engineering. Haizhong Zheng, Computer Science and Engineering. Yukai Zhou, Macromolecular Science and Engineering. Zhu Sheng, Mechanical Engineering. Wei Zhan Zuo, architecture. Yao Shao, chemistry. Wissam Iman Nuwaid, Middle East Studies. Christopher Clark, Computer Science and Engineering.
Let's give our doctoral graduates one more round of applause. It is now our pleasure to recognize the achievements of our Rackham Master's graduates. We invite master's degree candidates to please come forward and be greeted on stage. Another round of applause for our Rackham Masters graduates. Some of the graduates and candidates presented today are still standing, and for the remainder of them, please rise if you are able. Graduates of the University of Michigan, please rise. Will the deans and officers, the faculty, and all the others on the stage please rise if you are able? Will all of the family members and invited guests who share in the recognition of these candidates presented today please rise if you are able? I now welcome our graduates to the community of scholars. We look forward to benefiting from the contributions your education has prepared you to make in our world. Congratulations all. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chair of the Board of Directors of the Alumni Association of the University of Michigan, Mary Kay Haben.
Thank you. Here's the good news. It's now good afternoon. I am the last speaker, and I will be brief. So on behalf of the Alumni Association, congratulations and welcome. We are delighted to count you now as an official member of the alumni family. There you go. You are now part of a network of nearly 700,000 alumni in 180 countries around the world. And the degrees you now hold will no doubt unlock opportunities and adventures that will take you to new places and bring you remarkable experiences. However, no matter where you go, there is always one place you can call home, and that's the University of Michigan. And as your unique journey begins, remember your new family has much to offer. The Alumni Association can help you stay connected. You heard a lot about connections today. We can help you stay connected. We have over 115 local clubs. We can get you connected with athletic events, career resources, webinars, etc. And better news is I have a graduation gift for you. And it's not to pay off your student loans, but we are offering you a complimentary one-year membership to the Alumni Association so that you can access the benefits as well. So keep an eye on your inbox for that. But most of all today, we offer our congratulations and we say, well done. You are indeed the leaders and the best, and we await with great anticipation all of the positive impact that you're going to bring to the world. So say it with me, forever and always, go blue! And now I'll invite Vice Chair of our Senate Advisory Committee on University Affairs, Heather O'Malley, to close the ceremony.
Thank you all for joining us to celebrate the tremendous achievements of our graduates. To conclude today's ceremony, please stand as you are able and sing with us as we close with the university's alma mater, the Yellow and Blue. You'll find the words printed in the back of your program. Afterwards, please remain at your seats until the recessional march of the stage party is complete.
The University of Michigan would like to thank you for coming today and congratulate you on your graduation. As you prepare to leave, we ask for your cooperation and patience. Please promptly exit the Chrysler Center. Graduates are to recess through the tunnel or up the stairs through the concourse level. Guests are not permitted on the arena floor. Graduates, families, and friends are asked to meet outside the arena. Thank you again for attending today. Congratulations to our Rackham graduates and their families, and go Blue!